I really can't respond till I have had a closer look at the particular issue.
Question number 3, the Honourable David Cunliffe.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. To the Prime Minister, does he stand by his statement that the forestry industry, quote, needs significant change, close quote?
Honourable Bill English on behalf of the Prime Minister.
Yes, although the member may need to be reminded that that statement was made in response to a question relating to forestry safety systems, not the economics of forestry.
Mr Speaker.
Supplementary question, the Honourable David Cunliffe.
Mr Speaker, in relation to the economics of forestry, is he comfortable that the rate of unprocessed log exports has grown at 10 times the rate of processed logs, given that the export of raw logs is really exporting jobs?
Honourable Bill English.
Mr Speaker, I'd need to check the member's figures, but he may also be interested to know that around 60% of all forestry production is currently value-added. It may well be that in the light of a rise in prices for export logs, there are more logs being exported, but anyone who's been in the industry knows that those prices can drop as fast as they rise, and I'm sure there's many people in the forestry industry taking a longer view and keeping that in mind.
Point of order, the Honourable David Cunliffe.
In relation to the Minister's claim that 60% of timber processed is value added, I seek leave to table MPI statistics that show that 55% are exported raw.
Leave us all to table some MB statistics. Is there any objection? There is none. They can be tabled. Supplementary question.
Supplementary. To the Prime Minister, is it appropriate to export raw logs to Asia and import the sawn timber back to Christchurch when sawmills are closing in New Zealand, for example, having 120 people sacked at Tachikawa sawmill in Rotorua?
Honourable Bill English.
Well, Mr Speaker, it'd be useful if to public debate, I'm sure if the member could provide an actual example that was the case. Secondly, no, he didn't. He asserted it. He just asserted it. But of course, we need to remember who's making the decisions about this, and it is the owners of trees and the owners of sawmills and traders in timber, all of whom we believe are probably better placed to make that judgment than David Cunliffe.
Mr Speaker,
order, supplementary question, Honourable David Cunliffe.
What would the Prime Minister say to the people in the Deputy Prime Minister's former home region who are gutted by the announcement that Southern Cross Forest Products is in receivership, threatening up to 400 jobs across its sites?
Honourable Bill English on behalf of the Prime Minister.
Well, Mr Speaker, on behalf of the Prime Minister, there's been public statements made to the effect that the mill may be sold as a going concern, and that in fact the problem is levels of debt rather than levels of log exports.
Supplementary question. Order. 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 Supplementary question, Honourable Nick Smith.
My question to the Minister of Finance is, what reports has he seen on the Acting Prime Minister?
Speaker.
Point of order, the Honourable.
Seek your guidance, Mr Speaker. Is it appropriate for the member to ask a supplementary question of the Minister of Finance on a primary that was to the Prime Minister?
Yes, no, it certainly is. In order to do so,
to a different member. Mr Speaker, the primary question was to the Prime Minister. The supplementary from that member was to the Minister of Finance, who for this purpose...
No, it is appropriate that the member, when he rises, addresses the question to the Prime Minister.
My question is to the Prime Minister, and it asks, what reports has he received on the recent developments in Tasmania on forest processing, where their Labor Green government has fallen apart over the very issues of forest processing, and where there has been a huge loss of jobs and confidence in that sector because the Labor and Green...
Order, you've made the point with your question. Prime Minister, Honourable Bill English on behalf of the Prime Minister.
Mr Speaker, I've received the same...
The question was what reports
I've received the same reports as the Minister has, obviously, which have been to the effect that the government in Tasmania has overseen the destruction of the forestry industry by trying to get involved in it.
Supplementary, Mr. Speaker.
Supplementary question, the Honourable David Cunliffe.
Mr. Speaker, would the Prime Minister support an accelerated depreciation tax, including for forestry processing?
Honourable Bill English on behalf of the Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, no, we're not entertaining that. Those kind of policies were tried consistently from, I think, the 1970s when they were a bright idea, and they lead to unsustainable industries and unsustainable jobs. As a whole lot of Australian workers are now finding out, where industries that were subsidised by government there are now closing down.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Point of order.
I seek leave to table a global tax alert from Ernst & Young, which shows that, far from the Minister's point, that Japan introduced such a depreciation incentive.
Order. The document has been described adequately. I just need the date of the document.
4 October 2013, not 19.
It's a recent document. Leave us sought to table that particular Ernst & Young report. Is there any objection? There is objection. There is objection.
Order, Mr. Speaker.
Order.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Point of order, the Honourable David Cunliffe.
Mr. Speaker, I seek leave to table a research report from the Federal Republic of Germany, which shows that they are investigating the use of a tax depreciation allowance for timber projects.
A similar date, please.
2014, sir.
So leave us sought to
but not the 1970s.
Leave us sought to table that particular research. Is there any objection? There is objection. Question number 4. Oh, sorry. Order.
Mr. Speaker.
Supplementary question, Honourable David Cunliffe.
Mr. Speaker, does the Prime Minister support a pro-wood government procurement strategy to assist jobs and value added in New Zealand, including in those South Otago sawmills? And if not, why not?
Honourable Bill English on behalf of the Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, no, and the member should have more confidence in the forestry industry. It has evolved from the time in the late 80s when sawmillers used to be able to get very cheap logs from government-owned forests, through to a modern processing industry that is internationally competitive and makes very sophisticated decisions about the balance of financial risk, different types of product, and exchange rate risk and price risk in export markets. The idea that the Labor Party will do a better job of that is wrong, and they would end up destroying the forestry industry if they get that involved in it.
Mr. Speaker.
Supplementary question, Honourable David Cunliffe.
Mr. Speaker, to the Prime Minister, why has the government sat on its hands for the last 5.5 years while the timber processing industry has been in decline and while dozens of workers have been killed or maimed in the forestry sector? Or is that just another example of this she'll be right attitude to regions and jobs?
Honourable Bill English on behalf of the Prime Minister.
Well, Mr. Speaker, the answer to that, of course, is no. The industry is not shrinking, it's growing, partly because of the high prices for its product. It's a bit of an odd analysis that says because there are high prices for the product from an industry, the government therefore needs to interfere with it. And of course the government has acted on the serious and legitimate safety issues in the forestry industry through supporting an industry-led inquiry and setting up WorkSafe New Zealand.
Supplementary question, Dr Russell Norman.
Is the Minister aware that the forest industry and timber industry itself is calling for a partnership with the government to help the industry value add more rather than simply exporting raw logs? Or will the government continue with its attitude of whatever?
The Honourable Bill English on behalf of the Prime Minister.
Well, Mr. Speaker, it may come as news to that member, but sometimes businesses do ask government for tax breaks and other concessions. In fact, it goes on all the time. And the forestry industry doesn't have any particularly special role in that respect. The government is working with the forestry industry over better infrastructure, more competitive energy market, better regulation, better flow of skilled young New Zealanders into the industry, all of which are proven ways in which government can support this industry.
Point of order, the Honourable David Cunliffe.
I seek leave to table a report from the Southland Times about the government's subsidy to Rio Tinto's zinc.
Order. That information is easily available to members.
Mr Speaker.
Point of order.
I seek leave to table the Auditor General's report on the government screwing the scrum for Smart City Casino.
Order, and that is also freely available to members. Question number 4, Dr Russell Norman.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. My question is to the Minister.